tight, it's weak. Jesus, coffee, repeat. Grab your coffee, grab a kettlebell. Wake up. Keep saying this to yourself. It's not tight, it's weak. Most of the time when something's injured, it's not that it's tight, it's that it's weak. What's injured is usually the thing that's taut, overstretched, inhibited, not active. So it's activated. Biggest mistake, and I would have laughed at myself 10 years ago if I told myself that when my foot hurt. I'm like, yeah, every time I move into my exercise, it makes it worse. I'm trying to make it strong. So we gotta be careful. We're re-educating our movements, not forcing more movement. It's not about how much, it's about quality. So, down to very active posture here, reaching our heels towards the ground, lifting our butt to the air, drive our head through our arms. Deep stretch, find it in the hamstrings. Pushing this very hard. So we're going to kind of pop out of this into a little bit of a squat. But then we'll step back into it. This time we're just going to bring one leg up, so left outside of your left hand. Open up into a windmill. Elbow down to the ground. Oh. Pop that leg back. Pull deep into this hinged position before you raise that leg. Oh. Find the stiff side. Elbow down. Let's do that one more time. Very active, very deep. Take your time with that. Probably notice it's easier to get one elbow to the ground than the other. I have to let my knees bend a little bit, my butt higher. A little higher on the right. Do our little squat again, our little frogger leap here. That's a good one for the ankles. Don't have to set up super deep like that. Pull those hips back. Do a little hop. And you can hop yourself across the floor. Should get a nice little burn right there. Body's nice and warmed up. Grab a light kettlebell. Grab a sip of coffee. Quick warm up. Talking about strength today. Everyday strength. A little more strength than usual. If these kneeling positions bother you, suck it up. No, try it seated. Even with this soft padding, it's too much. Sometimes it's nice to have something a little stiffer. Drive those knees into the ground. Get very tall. We're going to start in the rack position here. Breathing. I'm forcing my heels away from each other. Activating these little peroneal tendons. We'll talk about that more. Rolling that heel out to the side. Let's bring this overhead. Back down. When we press today, we're gonna do a little different. Go out to the side, overhead, down. Hold it there. Nice and big, nice and tall. Get that elbow as straight as possible. Some people can straighten that out pretty easy. For the rest of us, it's a bit of a struggle. That's good. Let's switch sides. Same thing, strong. We're using the knees here to avoid too much extension. You don't want to be arching too much when we're doing this. We're keeping that core tight. Weight over the knees. Not a lot of weight in the toes, right? Most weight is in the knees. About 5 each side. Fifth one we're going to hold. Press it up real tall. Just don't survive. Drive. Drive and thrive. Just bring it down. A few decompression breaths here. Expanding the rib cage. A strong lat spread. Check it out. We're going to take that standing. Let's get up with intention. I should just do some FT get-ups. So you get up, bringing one leg forward. Opposite arm and leg reaching. A couple of those, quick and fast. If you're feeling the front of the hip, that's good. It means your lower back's engaged. Those erector muscles. Keep those strong. And switch it up. If you're feeling pain here, keep all this short. We're trying to open up the bottom of the rib cage, not low back. Protect the low back. So now, when we press standing, we're gonna have some more fun here. We're gonna do a one leg balance. No, I don't want you holding onto the wall. If you can't do it, just go back to 2 legs. The reason why we're doing one-legged here is just so we don't cheat. A lot of people arch when they press overhead. That's why I went kneeling. Lean to one side. Before we do that, let's do one more thing that I forgot on the knees. Let's go back down to it. Do your FT get up one more time. I've done this one before, it's a good one though. So, if the right knee's forward, kettlebell's in the left hand, kind of doing what I just did before. Opening up the shoulder a little bit, and I'm going to bench pressing. As I go up, my hand goes down. Just going for about my fist right now, right beside my heel. As I come back up, Keep it overhead. Back down. It's almost like I'm pressing my body away from the kettlebell. Let me get you a beautiful lat stretch through the arm here. Let's do about 5 each side. Went down flat hand that time, so you can keep progressing as you feel able. Taking all the twists and turns out of the body. Breathing and bracing each time. Don't rush these 5. Take your time. So if it's in the right hand, left leg's forward. You can see I've bent the other leg behind me a little bit. You'll notice I switch between pointing that foot and tucking it in. Sometimes when I tuck it, it feels like there's too much pressure on the kneecap, so you can always point it. I haven't really noticed it. It's a little more active when it's tucked in. Help connect to the chain, but it's not really that goal here. Opening up. You can just go down to the fingertips. Don't rush this. Breathing, bracing. Go down to the necks. Down to the flat hand. Oh, beautiful stretch. A little more QL that time on this side. Less lat, but I'm still getting good stuff. Trick is brace the spine. Oh, yes. Beautiful. Let's do a couple of FT get-ups with the kettlebell overhead. Also known as the reverse lunge. Okay. Hey. Awesome those shoulders. A lot of times when I have low back pain, I do a lot of this. It hurts, I back off, but just sometimes I'll, simple as getting on my knees, holding the weight overhead, no movement necessary. Just try to hold that as long as I can. It's increasing your load tolerance. It's teaching your body to resist gravity. It's going to open up these disc spaces. Now my balance is terrible in the morning, so if you got the balance to hold this, great. I'm kind of going to go one and down, one and down. We'll start on the good leg. It's my left side. Doesn't matter which hand you start from. So we're going to do both. So I'm bending the opposite knee. Press. I'll bring the leg down. Do 3 each position. If you can hold that, good for you. I'm gonna reset. Root the grounded foot to the ground. Don't just dig your toes, spread the toes, grip with your foot. Create a strong foundation. Good. Keep it there. Switch that up, do the other side. The terrible ankle. Really got to grip, spread. a little harder on these squishy mats. All right, then we'll switch sides. Woo. Good for the core too. That balance challenges that psoas. That's a major stabilizer of our low back. Back to our left leg. I don't know what it is. There's always trouble with balance in the morning, right? So we're not doing too many of these. Come on, we can get it. Good. Now the tough side. Root that foot. What I'm talking about is ball the big toe, ball the little toe, heel, gripping. Not the toes just gripping. Grab with the arches. Did not switch arms? I don't think I switched arms. Switch legs. No, we're not supposed to switch arms. I was right. Forget that last thing. Keep doing what you're doing. Maybe you're like me and it wasn't too pretty. That's good. You're gonna feel that foot doing the shaky dance. That's good. Using all these little muscles we don't get a lot of activation from. Now we'll just try some. It's up the weight though. Go double. Start getting to the strength portion of the strength. Get the stability firing. Yeah, working on that. Get some coffee in you. Warm up, challenge the stability, mobilizations, that kind of stuff before I get to the strength. You don't want one side overworking as I grab two different weights. By the way, I didn't count them on today, but there's been a lot of donations to getting new kettlebells. Speaking of getting heavier weights, so I'll let you guys know. I'm gonna count it up. Next video, let you know if we got enough money to buy another kettlebell. Want to go up to a green. We got purple, need green. Green's like 55 pounds. It's good. Even if you don't do kettlebell, you can do deadlifts with something heavy like that. It's very good to have something nice and heavy like that. So, double swing or just single, whatever you want to do. If you're just using a single, you just do them like I was doing before. We'll go rack, press, down, 5 presses. Little hold at the top. Take time to really lengthen the whole spine. You know, with kettlebells, it always seems like we're rushing things. Take some time here to really get that full length, whatever yours is. Big breath, focused breath into the low back. Like that little clank. Sometimes that lets you know you got them up there all the way. Notice I do this a lot so you don't slam, especially if you're coming down fast. Or you can tuck them in like that. Hold here. Now we just swing it down. That's fine as long as we switch sides. Right? We have a different weight at each hand. So now I'll do a little more explosive. Doing a swing each time. All this long cycle, so this will be double bell long cycle. Show you from the side, get another angle here. Get out of the way, Billy. I'll try a new move after this. Maybe all this is new moves to you, but if you're watching this playlist, there's been a lot of repeated stuff. That's what we're doing. Adding layers, but really just doing the same stuff. Because what are you doing all day here? You're bending, hinging, squatting, trying to improve those mechanics. Good hand cheer. Lengthen, lock that spine. Add a breath, layer of protection on top of there. Let's do a couple swings. On the 5, we'll go up into the rack. The fingers out of the way. And we're gonna press, do a little jerk at the top. Swing it down, rack it up. Back squat. How do you do a back squat with kettlebells? Let's show you. Do it with one kettlebell first, a little easier, a little more forgiving. Problem is getting them off your back is the tricky part. Actually, there's 2 ways I like to do this. Both good. I'll go heavier for this one. I'm just doing single bell. I want my heaviest bell, so we need the green. It's just 44. So we can put it on one shoulder, or we could put it behind our back. Double bell over both shoulders, so you can go up a little heavier. Why? What back squat? What are we doing? What's the difference? So when it's out in the front, out in the rack here, more for a deep squat. With the back squat, so you have the shoulder here, a little more of a hinge, looking down at the ground a little bit. So very good for the back. If going squatting low hurts here, and you end up doing the pelvic tuck at the bottom, and you're just straightening all this, back squat might be better for you right now. Yeah, we need depth. We can't force depth. So sometimes it's good to work on just the hinge. A little bit of knee motion. Similar to the deadlift, right? Mostly. We're just putting the weight up top. So, yeah, let's do 5 each shoulder. So, you'll see I do it a little differently than when I do it with the doubles. Here I just like it there in that position. I like this for running. I'll run with this. Not much place to run in here, but that's like the carry position I'll use to run. Just feels really good on that trap, to be honest with you. And it challenges one side over the other. Going until I feel the stiffness in the front of the hips. Let's do some single leg action. Make sure not step into a kettlebell. It's just a very comfortable position for me. So 5 squats, 5 back squats, 5 reverse lunges. Kind of difference, you know, what is the difference between a forward lunge and reverse lunge. Reverse lunge, torso angle, shin angle kind of match. I'm stepping forward, it's more like a deep squat, which I don't want to do the weight. Where it is. Another angle. Probably even saw it, have my right foot pulled in, my heel pulled in. Drive the heels apart, like we were doing before in the kneeling position. A little easier to control if you're just one-legged. But sometimes the hip doesn't have a good range of motion. We're trying to go too deep. The heel will shift, the foot will do a little shimmy. That's why we're rooting the foot. My socks aren't the best actually, so let's lose these, see if I get some more grip. Or a nice textured mat that you can grip a little bit better with your feet. But definitely going barefoot. You're not going to notice this in the shoes. You're not going to notice how your feet shift in your shoes during your squats. So yeah, if you only got one, I'm going to switch up to doubles. So if you only got one, little exercise. You hold it here by the horns, a little around the world. I'm resting my skull. I like to put my skull right, that suboccipital space right on the handle. And the same thing, you're pulling it back, or a hinge, find the stiffness. I mean, you can lift the butt a little bit more. Good morning almost is another name for this. But, yeah. You can get stuck back there, especially with the doubles, because your arms, oh, you're not used to that lat stretch. It's a really good part about this. All right. So collectively, not a ton of weight, right? I might jump up to the purple to add some extra, but 35, 29, so 60, 64-ish. Go to the rack and then just slide them up if you got doubles. Especially if you got your little 10-pounders. Easy, this will be easy. Let's go for 10. No single leg stuff here. So I'm gonna rack it. Slide them up just like that. Easier to grab the ground now with bare feet for sure. I'm driving my feet away from each other. Easy. Let's do some front squats now. Now we'll just keep it in the rack. We're going to do a goblet squat. We'll go a little heavier. Let's do 10. Those are easier for me. You might find the back squats easier. Now we'll do some thrusters. So squat thrusters, you go down, you're actually gonna force your body to have a little more power.
press the ground away. Down here, pushing the ground away hard with your legs to drive overhead. So just gets a little more oomph from the legs. Don't use all arm strength here. These are tough. Let's do 10. Remember to switch your kettlebells if you have different sizes. If me having different sizes annoys you, please contact me and donate. If you enjoy the show, we will get duplicate bells. More variety for people to work on when they come here. So, same exact thing. Just adding that overhead press, using the legs. Even me, my arms, they're all tight and stiff, so it helps to have the legs run through that motion. Next, I get this upper trap dominant position. So my shoulders hit a wall here. My hips want to do that to help out, right? So keep it all this really strong, kneeling positions. Can help avoid too much of that thoracic extension. It looks like we're bringing up our chest. Well, what we're doing really both. We've disengaged our abs. So keep those tight. Adding weight kind of naturally keeps those tight, keeps it protected. All right, squat thruster, here we go. Lose the glasses, they're slipping out. Nice. So you know I'm serious. Just don't send me any messages. I can't see anything. Rack, get the fingers out of the way. Squatting. 1 second. Easy. So, you get down to that, you're like, man, my arms are burnt. Mine aren't. Legs. All legs. Same with the swing. Let's go back to our swing. Drop down to a single bell. And doing a lot of double. It's okay if you don't have 2 bells. I know a lot of you bought the cheap cement ones. Swinging a 10-pound, it's gonna feel like nothing. Maybe it does feel like something right now. But 2 10-pounds, you're almost up to the blue, so double up. When to buy a competition bell? I'd wait till you get strong enough to handle 20 pounds. Be something you're going to use. Strong deadlift stance. I'm holding my shoulders down, getting my neck long, staring at the ground, pulling the lats pulling the shoulders down. Big stretch, belly to hamstrings, glutes, keeping that strong engagement in the core. Single hand, let's go. Switch sides. Make sure you're getting enough hinge. Even I struggle. Kind of do a little hinge. Make sure you follow it all the way through. It's that last bit of stiffness. That'll help mobilize your hips more. But also adds stretch to the hamstring glutes makes them work in a more lengthened position, which is re-education, which is what we want. That's what we're doing. Try to change how we move. Whew. Let's take that into some snatchies now. The more I was getting powerful, the more I was doing it. Bring it up a little higher. Force my hips to do it. Kettlebell should be coming. My arm should come in contact with my thigh. My thigh's pressing that. I'm not using my arm. It's all, take deadlift. I went out of that deadlift super strong, super fast. Legs are pressing that bell. So now we're gonna carry that into the snatch. So I do this two ways, depending on what I'm doing. The way I was taught is you're always in the corner of the bell. Really, you can let go of all the other hands except for your thumb, pointer finger. And that corner of the bell kind of points underneath me. That's so you gotta roll it and it doesn't smash. I got to the point where I'm fast enough now that I can grip it here in the middle. It feels like I'm not rotating the shoulder in as much. So that just bothers me. I'm a biomechanics guy. Why am I rotating my shoulder in every time? Wide collarbones. That's what we're going for. But I'll show you both. This is the way I was talking about. Shoulders turned in. So then it would look like this. I rolled it a little bit, and then I reverse it. Very soft, gentle on the forearm. Or the other way, I grip it right in the middle. Keep it there. I just flip it really fast. And I feel like that's a better position for me. That might crank on your shoulder, I don't know. So try both. I did learn the first way. I now like the other way. But I'll switch. If you notice me switch, sometimes it's wearing on my hand funny. That's why when you're first starting, chalk up. I don't really chalk what I do. It starts getting slippery. Let's do 5 each side. These are rough, especially if it's a new movement. I'll do the corner of the bell action, just because I think that is a better way to start. Almost over-exaggerate what you need from the low back. Over-exaggerate that hinge. Watch it. So I really dip in there with my hips. I know I could do it without it, but like that one I didn't dip as much. I will chalk it up. Never fun when you tear a callus off. Like I worked so hard to get that callus. I have calluses underneath my calluses. I hear you. I know you hate this one, but I love it. Because it adds that snatch to some one-legged action. Because I just know I'm so twisted, I'm so imbalanced. I was all back to my surgery ankle. So I always love to test these big movements on one side. So this is the swing, lunge, snatch combo, thanks to Joe Daniels. Check him out. If you want to get big and bulky, that's the guy. With just kettlebells, that's the guy. If you want to get out of pain, start with me. He's a little scary. He does this with 88 pounds. It's 44. So now I'm definitely in the middle. That's why I started at the corner, just to give it some variety. So, it's in my right hand, my left leg's gonna do the work. That's the leg's gonna stay forward. And I flip it over top. A lunge, a snatch. Five. Shock's good for this. This is the tough thing. Want this from the side? You probably do. It's the grand finale. Come on, get through it. Oh, the burn. Where do you want that burn? That's the name. I always mess it up. I changed it. It's like anterior oblique spiral chain or something like that. There's another word I threw in there. I think it's simpler than that. We're talking about these peroneal muscles, anterior tibialis. Everyone's heels like to roll in. Shows there's weakness. It's not tight, it's weak. It's not tight, it's weak. My ankle hurt all the time because I thought it was tight. Getting adjusted, I was getting it scraped, so I was stretching it. This stuff. So what helps? And I noticed it right away. Right, way harder. So I'll shut up there. Hope you have a great day. If you're feeling good, just repeat some of that stuff. Do some overhead squats. Don't push yourself. You just need a little bit of this stuff every day. If you're pushing yourself to the gym, doing long hours, it's just making your body worse, listen to that. Less is more. You want more of the right movement. Quality over quantity. Don't be killing yourself. You guys got this. Come get fixed at the fix. Had to try that out. The arms are too burnt. We'll get back to more of our head squats next time. I know your arms are tired, 'cause mine are. Take care.